Hey everyone, we're in day 3 of the season, and likely our last day spending at 4 ER, because we already got this building health right here, and now getting some GBE right before 5 engines. I think this one will get to at least level 3 and eventually want to do maybe maximum. Otherwise, shock bombs level 4, mortars 4 too, and we'll try it a few hits. Now for 4 ER hits, we'll try to do something that maybe is not always the fastest, but at least I think the most consistent. Especially on some bases that do have mines where maybe you can't do that old clear cannon hit. And that different kind of hit is always either 2 boats rainmakers or clear cannons on the left side. That really depends if there's just one building there or anything more than that. If there's one or less buildings, I like doing rainmakers. So 2 boats for that left side. And on the right, especially because it's no IT, taking 1 mech, 2 Zooks, and 3 clear cannons. So almost every single troop we got. If you do have IT, then I think 3 Zooks, 3 clear cannons can do just as good. And on the left side, I don't like doing serum with rainmakers, so we'll just do 2 boats right here. And on the right, drop everyone on one side, and right away do a serum. Because we don't want to do serum on the left, we're just going to wait until a shock launcher looks, and as soon as it does, we can throw a shock. As late as possible is good, just so the rainmakers can shoot, and it goes down. Otherwise, do serums on the right side, so clearing a bunch of buildings. And this one is a bit easier because there's no mines, so I'm going to clear a bunch, get more serums going, and we can even shock the shock launchers. The main thing is keeping Zooks alive so they can get through the last few ERs. So on that base right there, getting a 316 and seeing if it's okay. But on our base, looks like fast enough. And at least for the left side here, we can see again, we do want to drop rainmakers kind of in the corner. And the way we're doing the shocks is not really tapping the screen. It's kind of a trick that sometimes you can use in warships, where you're just holding the shock and holding down the shock launcher. So as soon as it turns, you can just release your finger and then the shock goes. It's almost like a dead man's trigger, and it works a bit faster than just doing a full-blown tap. And we've seen a lot of 5 ERs too, which even just for the deck layout, it's still pretty strong. So that's why now that we have building held and the other GB, we're gonna head towards 5 engines next. Here there isn't really any buildings. Well, I guess 1 boom cannon on the right side, but still just doing 2 rainmakers. Because it's so far to the right, we don't even need any shocks. And on the right side here, we'll do the same. 1 mech, 2 Zooks, and 3 clear cannons. One way I like avoiding a bunch of these mines is you clear a lot of these buildings with serum, and once you go to this ER, you do a flare like along this back wall, which means any critters ahead can clear those mines, and then the Zooks clear cannons can also avoid this junk. So we can see that in action and try out the hit. So again, 2 rainmakers in the corner, then spread these guys out. Don't have to spread them out too much, but as long as it's kind of in the middle, so everyone can start shooting pretty early. And still no serums on the left side. On the right, we'll do 1 more serum when they're kind of almost at the ER. Sometimes you have critters that can also help out. So we'll do 1 more serum, trying to get both clear cannons and the Zooks. And then doing that 1 flare. Shocking the shock launcher too, and just in case, doing a shield. But we have just enough for another serum and now can flare the last 2 ERs. Get this one down, and then go for the last one. And around the same time, looks like we're a touch late because rainmakers want to be dumb. But it looks like we're gonna get 309. So maybe it could have been a few seconds faster, but see if it's okay. And looks like it is. And we've also seen some people talk about why sometimes when they use serum on the ramp, it doesn't hit all your troops. And we can kind of show it here. Maybe I guess you can call it a ramp bug, where you see your troops isn't actually where they are in the game. So you think, okay, you drop 6 boats on this side, the middle of it is maybe like over here, so that's where you want to throw the serum, but isn't always the case. So if you drop it pretty low in the ramp, then the game actually thinks that it's somewhere a bit above it and towards the right side. So technically we should have thrown the serum over here, but that's why when you see us drop it, it's always at least a bit higher up. So that's actually where we dropped it, so as long as it's a bit higher and ideally towards the right side, that's where you're going to get most of your troops. And if you have any things on the left ramp, it's going to be the opposite, which is a bit ahead and to the left. And this works for using any abilities on the ramps. Most seasons it doesn't matter because it's not like you're going to throw any shocks or flares on the ramp. But the one exception with Serum, this is kind of a unique thing that's pretty important. But otherwise, we'll show the right side once more, which is again, kind of everything in the middle doing the Serum, so you have a bunch of critters out, Zuka's helping with mines. And once you do get to this ER, it's really important to do that kind of wall flare. Because right now, if you do no flares, all these Zooks are going to die to mines. So anything kind of on the ground right there is fine. You send that flare and the critters start moving, so do the Zukas, same with critter cannons. And if there is a shock launcher, you can just keep it shocked. Because then you avoid a bunch of mines, and then you can just start flaring ERs. If you have more GB, maybe shock other shock launchers, but in most cases, the Zooks are enough to finish the base. And here we got another match. So this is a common base, but luckily no mines. Only one building on the left, so we can do 2 Rainmakers and 1 shock. And on the right here, because there's so many buildings spread out, we can spread out our Zukas too. Like 1 mech in the middle, 2 Zukas each side. Thing is, you want to do the critter cannons close enough so 1 serum can still cover them. So I usually like critter cannons towards the right side. So again here, 2 Rainmakers, spread out these first troops, then a few critter cannons, and get 1 serum. Again a bit higher and to the right. And here holding down on that shock launcher, as soon as it looks, we're gonna go ahead, throw a shock. Otherwise on the right side, maybe get 1 more serum going. It doesn't really matter when you do the second serum, as long as it kind of goes into the other ER. We're still gonna do that special flare against the wall. Even though there's no normal mines, we can avoid a bunch of those shock ones. And once they get up there, just go ahead for the last few ERs. And once this one goes down, get the last one going. Even if you're a bit faster, the critters out of the critter cannons can finish them off. And on this one, pulling a 316. So seeing if that's enough, and looks like it is. And how are you liking this kind of max 4 ER meta? I know some people even open Rudy, using a Seeker ability, or even Scorches are pretty fast. But again, I think rushing to 5 ER and the stuff after, we get a lot of good stuff. Clone rifles, machine guns, normal critters. But at least right now, I think these kind of hits are still a bit different than normal. This base is almost the same design, so we'll do the same hit. Start with 2 Rainmakers on this side. These guys spread out everyone and critter cannons kind of together. Get 1 serum going. Again, we're already holding down that shock bomb. Just waiting until that shock launcher looks, and then just let it go. On the right side here, wait just a few seconds, get 1 serum going. Always want to try to clip the Zooks and the critter cannons. But in this space, because there's not a lot of mines kind of in the middle, we can just go straight for the ERs. So get this one down, already for this bottom one. Again, it's okay for a bit early because critters can finish it off. So pulling a 318 and seeing if it's okay. And we'll be pretty happy with just 18 right now, especially after getting that building hill. But I think this last hit gets us that chest. Trying to make at least 1 rank progress per day, so maybe by the weekend we can hit diamond. But at least right now, we can start that saving for 5 ER. We are gonna go just by itself because even the deck layout is pretty good, and tomorrow try those kind of hits. After 5 ER, we'll get clone rifles, machine guns, and because critters are so strong, we'll go ahead get 4 extra machine guns, and then pick these guys up. But that's a plan for the next couple days, and in the meantime, maybe upgrade, let's say, GBE, shock bombs, and even mortars. So I think right now we'll start with the mortars and I think max out shocks. But that's going to be it for today's video. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.